I'm going to call to order Solano College District Governing Board meeting for February 4th, 2026. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Let's join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Goodness. All right, roll call, please.
President Cargo Reed.
Here.
Trustee Wayne Greer.
Here.
Trustee Honeychurch. Trustee Kara. Trustee Thurston. Trustee Young. Trustee Boyce.
Here.
Student Trustee Rodriguez.
All right. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? All right. It was moved by Trustee Rosemary and seconded by Trustee Anne Marie. Is there any discussion? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? The motion carries. Okay. Comments from members of the public? All right. There are no comments from the public. We will now go into closed session and resume at 7 p.m. Thank you. Convene at 7:02 p.m. It is on.
I don't think we can hear you.
Hello. Hi, everyone. We're going to reconvene our meeting 7:02 p.m. All right. So, report of action in closed session. There was no action taken in closed session. Comments from members of the public? Okay, there are no comments. We'll move on to the consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered by the board to be routine and will be enacted by the board in one motion. There will be no discussion on these matters prior to the time the board votes on the motion unless members of the board, staff, or the public request specific items to be discussed and/or removed. Time will be provided before the vote for clarification questions without removing an item from the consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Can I just make a quick point of order? Sorry, quick point of order. I just wanted to make sure the audience knew that during our recognitions of retirement, in discussion part of that, anybody may also make comments during that. So we will open, yeah. So if you didn't fill out a card, don't
That's
panic that we
fine,
didn't
yes.
make public comment. So we will, when we get to that, feel free to, line up.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
It was moved by trustee Anne Marie and seconded by trustee Rosemary to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? The consent agenda was passed. All right, we're going to move down to non-consent agenda items. Now we're on at the non-consent agenda items. Finance and Administration, BP Wheat, will present these items. Hello.
Hello, good evening. Thank you, President Cargo-Reed, members of the board. I'm actually going to present both items 13A and 13B together. Our financial audit and our bond audit. And I'd like to ask Alicia Herrera from Ede Bailey to come up and present the audit. Well, she's already up there. She's fast.
Perfect. Does that work?
Welcome.
Fabulous. Thank
Hello.
Well, thank you for having me here tonight. My name is Alicia Herrera. I'm the engagement partner on the district's external audit. I'm going to give a brief summary of the district and the Measure Q bond audits. Sure. That's okay. I did meet with the audit committee earlier this evening to go over the reports in a lot more detail. And we were able to ask questions, go over some of the other details of this very long report. But I'm going to just give a high-level summary here tonight. Feel free to stop me if you have any questions. The district's external audit includes 3 different opinions that we give. We give one opinion over the financial statements, one over federal compliance, and one over state compliance. For the financial statements of the district, we gave what's called an unmodified opinion. It's commonly referred to as a clean opinion. It's the highest level of assurance that we can give, and it means that the financial statements that were prepared by management, free of material misstatement, free of material noncompliance, and in accordance with the accounting standards. We did have one finding over the financial statements in response to some audit adjustments that we have. Management prepared a corrective action plan to address that, which they have noted is implemented as of today's date, essentially. Next, we do our federal compliance opinion. We audited the student financial aid cluster this year. We gave an unmodified clean opinion. One important thing to note in this area, the district actually had 5 findings last year in financial aid. We came in to review those. We did extended procedures to ensure that the recommendations from the prior auditors was implemented, and there was no findings in financial aid, so went from 5 to 0 from last year. So very impressive for the district there. All right, and lastly, we give an opinion over state compliance. The Chancellor's Office requires us to look at a long list of items in that area, and we gave another clean, unmodified opinion with no findings in that area. If there's any questions on the district report, I'll take those now. If not, I'll go over to the Measure Q report.
I just have one question, if I may. My
Vice
question to
President.
you is, thank you so much for presenting the audit report. If I was somebody from the outside, from the community, and I'm listening to this and I hear unmodified and clean, what exactly does that mean, if you could share with us for the community in terms of hearing that for the community college, the financial health of the community college?
Sure. So what a clean opinion really means is that the information that's being prepared by management, people can rely on that. There's no errors, no material errors in there. There's no compliance that would cause the district any trouble included in the financials. And it's really, really important for your regulatory agencies when they're looking at the audit and they're going to the opinion, that's what they want to see, is that unmodified opinion. The Chancellor's Office, accrediting agencies, and your bond rating agencies, they're all going to be looking for that unmodified opinion. So if the audit was like a report card, the unmodified opinion would be like an A+. That's what you want to see.
So this is a moment to celebrate then for our community college staff, faculty, and students then, would you say?
I believe so, yes.
Trustee Karima.
With
Sure.
their retirements.
Sure. So the district is responsible for the retiree health benefits. Pensions, that's handled by the state, but the district is responsible for the promise to pay retiree health benefits to their employees. The management of the district has taken steps to ensure that they have adequate funds to pay those in the future by establishing an irrevocable trust, also earmarking monies in a reserve in the general fund. As of June 30, 2025, that liability is about, what did I say, 40% funded, closer to 61 when you include the reserves that are in the general fund. That's pretty high, especially for a district that has recently started their trust, I would say in the last 10 years. That's on the higher side that we see. And so that really shows the college is planning for this in the future, because healthcare costs continue to rise for all folks, really. And so it just shows that there's forward planning, making sure that funds are available so that the district is good on their commitment to their retirees.
Thank you. Trustee Karima.
Susan, could you, thank you, could you add to that about our reserve funds? and
Absolutely.
Where we are, and also talk about what we were discussing about the percentage going down because of the actuary tables.
Absolutely. So when we did our actuarial study as of June 30th of last year, we saw a big dip in the percentage funded, and that's based on how the actuarial calculated it, not because we took out any monies from it, but just the way that they calculated it. I asked them then to present to me how the other districts in the California are doing. And they represent 55 districts in the state of California. So a good majority of all the community colleges. And we're not in the middle, we're closer to being more highly funded than other community colleges. There are several that are 100% funded. Those are most likely, I don't have the exact details, but they're most likely the basic aid districts that have that availability to do it. We also don't take out any money from our trust or from our reserve to pay the medical on a yearly basis. That comes out of our general fund. It's about 1.3 million, so that we can make sure that that trust stays intact.
And what percentage is funded if you take both?
About 61%.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I will just quickly go over the Measure Q. This one is only 2 audit opinions, one over the financial statements of the bond fund for Measure Q, one over compliance. We gave clean, unmodified opinions for both of those items. We reviewed 72% of all of the expenditures for Measure Q. We found that those were in accordance with state regulations and in accordance with the Measure Q ballot. And no findings and recommendations associated with that audit. And one just quick thing in breaking news in the audit world. One thing we do is, as we're getting ready to finalize the report, this is due to the Chancellor's Office on February 14th. We're planning on submitting this towards the end of this week to them. But one thing we check is if anything's happened with the college up to the date that we issue our report. And Susan had mentioned that you guys just closed on a new bond issuance. And so that's something that we would disclose. So we're going to add additional disclosure into the report. I think it closed even after we printed these drafts. So that will be one change you'll see in the final version of this report, but other than that, we're ready to go and get it into the state on time.
Yeah, you said you reviewed 72% of the bond items.
Yep.
Why did you choose 72%? And you would have thought 75 at least. Is it a requirement that only 72 are checked?
No.
Could you have done 100%? Do other districts do 100%?
Sure. So we wouldn't do 100%. That wouldn't really be an audit. It'd be a complete review. So we sample the expenditures based on AICPA approved sampling tables, based on what we see when we review the listing of transactions. If there's things that stand out to us, we'll pull those. There's no minimum or standard. Most samples tend to lie around 35 to 40% coverage. But because many of the bond expenses are quite large because they're related to construction, we end up getting a pretty large number. So there's no rhyme or reason why it's 72. That's just kind of where it shook out to be.
But your report basically says we're good stewards of the people's money.
Correct. We didn't know any exceptions in the items that we reviewed.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Do we have any other questions? Perfect.
You need a
Do we have a motion? Yes.
Okay,
May I have
I'll
a
make the motion to approve item 13A and B.
I second that motion.
Thank you. It was moved by trustee Quinton and seconded by Vice President Jackie to establish these. Motion was passed for both. Okay. Yes. Is there any discussion? Sorry, we just went through that. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? The motion carries. All right. Establishment of non-resident tuition.
Yes, thank you again. So every year we have to establish our non-resident tuition fee. There's a formula that the Chancellor's Office uses to establish that fee. There's a couple different options that we have to choose from: statewide average, another local community college fee, all these things that we can choose from. We always choose the lowest fee that we can charge to our students. Last year it was $406. We were able to stay at that for 2 years. We couldn't do that this year. We did have to increase it to $409. That's the minimum that we were able to do, and that's why we chose that. On the form that you'll see, it's based on the statewide average, but all of the different calculations, that is the minimum that we can do no matter what. Our non-resident students comprise about the most 1 to 1.5% of our overall students. A lot of them are international students, which this semester we have 15 students that are international. So although it doesn't affect a lot of students, we want to make sure that we're being good stewards to them and making sure that they can get the education that they need by making sure that that stays at the minimum amount. And we ask for your approval.
Do we have a motion to approve the establishment of non-resident tuition?
I second the motion.
All right, it was moved by trustee Emery and seconded by trustee Rosemary. Is there any discussion? Trustee Karima.
Thank you. So you're saying we've gone from $406 a unit to $409 a unit,
Correct.
okay?
And that'll be for the next year.
Yeah, so the next 2 years.
It's for 20, we have to do this every year. So it's for the 26, 27. This time next year, we'll come back and hopefully we can stay at that same.
And I understand $3 is.
It can be a lot for some people.
But it adds up when you're a full-time student. If we have people that find, and again, there might be times when we will jump from 409 to 600, who knows, right? Do we have things in place where people can come and say, I'm stuck?
We do, our financial aid office is tremendously helpful, for these students to get them where they need to be. Unfortunately, we don't have a say in what we can charge, otherwise we would be lower. But our financial aid office helps every student that they can to make sure that they can stay educated and stay in school.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there any other questions? All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Oppose? Abstain? All right, the motion was passed.
Great.
We're on to Human Resources Director. Mr. Abate will present these items.
Thank you, President Cargo Reed, members of the board. As you can tell, Human Resources is popular this evening. We've brought a crowd in for all of you. So I hope you're prepared to hear some very kind and generous words about two of our retirees that will be leaving us at the end of this academic year. To start off, I am going to defer to VP Neely, who has a prepared statement for one of our counselors, Nicholas Chittadino.
Thank you. Good evening, President Cargo Reed and members of the board. It's a pleasure to be here for this celebratory part of the agenda. I want to start and kick off the proceedings in honor of Nick with a statement from the Dean of Counseling. Tonight, we pause to honor and celebrate Mr. Nicholas Cittadino for 21 years of dedicated full-time service to Solano Community College. Nick has been a steadfast presence in our counseling department, serving both as a general counselor and as our athletic counselor, showing up not just in offices and meetings, but in stands, at games, and in the lives of our students. His support of student athletes goes far beyond advising. It reflects a genuine belief in their whole person's success. In addition to his work with students, Nick has contributed meaningfully to our institutional life through service on academic senate and program review committees, helping strengthen the academic integrity and continuous improvement of our college. Perhaps most memorably, Nick has been a trusted faculty mentor and a source of wisdom, humor, and calm in moments when students were in crisis. His ability to de-escalate, reassure, and ground students is a gift that cannot be taught, only lived. Beyond our campus, Nick's commitment to service extends to the broader community through his volunteer work with the Salvation Army, particularly in support of individuals experiencing homelessness. Nick, your compassion, consistency, and care have left a lasting imprint on the college. We thank you for your service, your heart, and your legacy, and we wish you a well-earned and joyful retirement. And so at this time, I'd like to invite some of Nick's longstanding colleagues, in whatever order you want to come up,
Yes,
to share some sentiments, please. Thank you.
thank you. Hello. Make sure that their microphone's on.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be here tonight. Hi, I'm Rebecca LeCount. I'm one of Nick's colleagues, and I just wanted to say a little bit about him. Nick is one of the first people that I met in counseling when I first started working at Solano. It's about 13 years ago now. And he was so welcoming to me, and that really, shows Nick's personality. He is such a welcoming person, and I really appreciated it so much when I first started at Solano, having him there. He has such a big heart, and he really cares about his students, and that really comes through in his work with them. And his students, they love and respect him as their counselor also. Nick always has a smile on his face. He never gets rattled, even when it's crazy busy in counseling, which happens. And no matter what, he always has a joke for us to lighten the mood. If you know Nick, you know he has an amazing sense of humor. He's done so much at Solano. He's worked with all different populations. VP Neely mentioned some of those tonight, working with athletes on the academic senate, working with international students, even for a bit on a program near and dear to me, which is the Puente program. And so he's really done a lot here at Solano. We have a slogan here, I am Solano. To me, Nick is Solano. It's going to be hard to imagine Solano without him here. We will miss him a lot. His students will miss him a lot. But I know he's going to continue to do a lot of good work in our community. He's amazing. His volunteerism, he volunteers in many ways, very active in his church, and so much more. And so I know we're still going to have him as a valued community member. So thank you, Nick, for all you have done over the years for Solano and for our students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Christine Rodriguez. I serve here at Solano Community College as an adjunct counselor in general counseling. And 15 years ago, I walked into Nick's office as a student and he referred me to the Puente program here on campus. And honestly, every time I think about my life, I think like, wow, where would I be if it wasn't for Nick? And Nick really inspired me to come back and pursue counseling as my career. And now, 8 years later, I've had the opportunity to be his colleague. Nick has brought so much light in every room he has stepped into. He's been an amazing mentor to me and a pillar to our team. Nick, you have taught me so much, not just about my career, but also to be a better person. Nick, I'm going to miss you so much, and we're going to miss you so much. Have fun, and don't forget about us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Lene Jaimez. I teach psychology. I'm going to first read some words from Amy Doffenbach, who is Nick's colleague. Nick and Amy were hired in the same year, and there's something very special about that when it's your cohort, your faculty cohort. Amy couldn't be here, Nick, and she's sorry she couldn't be here. Amy writes, for the past 21 years, my office has been right next to Nick's. It is common to hear laughter through the wall as Nick's sense of humor puts the student at ease. Nick brings joy to the office. His presence lightens the atmosphere. Nick has been the go-to person when a student is in crisis. He is highly skilled at de-escalating students when they are stressed out. His gentle demeanor helps them to refocus and calm down. Nick is one of the most versatile people I've ever met. He has lived 1,000 lives through his many experiences. He tells amazing stories. He has a love for learning. While working at Solano, he has earned his third master's degree. His third master's degree was in creative writing. I know. At retirement parties, we would rely on him to write a song about the retiree and then sing it while playing his guitar. He is an avid cyclist. He rode his bike 72 miles on his 69th birthday. Pretty impressive. He also has a garden here at the Solano campus and has blessed us over the years with fruits and vegetables. At Solano, he was instrumental in redesigning our liberal studies degree, which is the most commonly awarded degree. He spearheaded the effort to change the academic renewal policy to make it more student-friendly. He has worked closely with the athletes and international students. Needless to say, Nick will have a lot of hobbies to enjoy after leaving Solano. We were all blessed to have him as part of our counseling family. We love you, Nick.
Thank you.
I'm not done yet because Nick is a very good friend of mine and a dear colleague of mine, and I wanted to say some things to him too. Nick and I got to know each other on Academic Senate. We traveled to plenaries together, took many walk breaks at plenary, sharing our lives together. I've seen Nick get married, raise a stepson. Nick and I also share a love of sports, so we attend a lot of Falcon sports together. And whenever there's a basketball game and I'm not there, Nick is texting me, and sometimes I run over, sometimes I can't. But we love our sports together. We also often just go out to coffee. Nick will say, we gotta have coffee, because we're on opposite sides of the campus. We don't see each other very much, but our times of having coffee together are important to me. And I expect those to continue, Nick, when you retire. We also learned to play pickleball together here in the pickleball class. I am an avid pickleball player at this point. I'm still trying to get Nick back into being my partner. Nick is a deeply spiritual human being. He is incredibly thoughtful and kind, and I just can't say enough about him as a person. I appreciate my friendship with Nick. and with his family. I will miss hearing from students that say, Nixie said I should talk to you. My counselor, Nick, sent me to you. There's a lot of psychology majors on this campus, and he sends them to me. But I do look forward to some pickleball and some coffee, Nick. I will miss having you on campus, but I know where you live.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Ramos. I'm a counselor. I'm wondering who this Nick guy is because I'm like, wait a minute. So now you're going to get the dirt. Things to know about Nick. He's like a big brother. 1 minute he's giving me a hard time, and the next minute he's protecting me from harm, which looks like him sending me a private message telling me to bite my tongue when I'm frustrated. He's adventurous. I don't think there's anywhere in the U.S. that he hasn't been, and probably outside the U.S. During my vacations, I'll send a picture to our counseling group, and he will usually know where I am, even when I haven't shared the location. As Lene said, he plays pickleball, and he's really good at it. And we all took a pickleball class together, and it was embarrassing. He kicked our butts. Him and Lene, they are a powerhouse. Don't play against them if ever they ask to match with you. All right, some favorite Nick memories. He's had the hardest time remembering to call me Kimberly. So to Nick, I am Kim. Carly! It might seem like a really small thing, but honestly, that means a lot to me, Nick. Nick likes to try to volunteer all the newbies for projects. So I had to learn really early on to tell him, if you're volunteering me, you're really volunteering yourself. After that, he really didn't volunteer me for that many things, but once during an online meeting, he volunteered me for the Liberal Studies program review. And before I could unmute myself to speak, Amy Doffenbach chimed in and said, you know, Nick, if you're volunteering Kimberly, you're really volunteering yourself. Best moment. So, Nick did the program review that year, and it was awesome. Another memory. Nick is good at trying to get out of things. But at Camber St. Maria's retirement, he tried to leave. And I told him he was signed up for the cleanup crew. So he stayed and helped clean up. Nick, I have to confess, there was no list. Hashtag payback. Honestly, it's really hard to imagine our counseling department without Nick. He's brought so much fun, curiosity, playfulness, wisdom, advocacy, and support with students, colleagues, and the college as a whole. This feels like losing a family member, and it just sucks. I tried to talk him out of retirement, but I guess he wants his free time back, and I think that's rude. We love you, Nick. Enjoy your stupid retirement, and I hope you have a spare room because who's going to remind me to bite my tongue?
Yes. Hi.
There's the microphone. Right here?
Right there. There you go. Hi.
So I'm Nick. I want to meet this guy. It sounds so nice. I would really like, if I could, I would just take a moment to take a deep breath and to appreciate everybody that's here. Dr. Butler, the whole board. I don't know all of you. Dennis Honeychurch, I expect I'm going to get to know you a little bit better because I work with Exodus and with Catholic Charities, so it's right in your building, I believe. So maybe we'll see each other some there. It's been a total honor to work here. I've been here 21 years, and I have had lots of jobs from cleaning out septic tanks to working in National Park Service and everything in between. But this job is home, and this is where I have learned to, give my heart, and where it's been given back to me. And all these people here, I just want to say thank you, and I love you. And my spirit will always be here. So, okay. Thank you very much.
P.S. Some of us could not enroll in school here after retirement if it weren't for Nick showing us how to register and go through the process of all of that stuff. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, members of the board, we do have one more name on here. That is one of our chemistry professors, Maria Santiago. I am going to take a point of privilege because I have the microphone and I can. Maria was actually my chemistry instructor when I started school here in 1993. So you can figure out how old I am now. She was one of my first instructors, and it was a privilege and an honor to be in a class with her. I do want to share one story, and I'm not violating confidentiality of a hiring process, but I did just serve on an interview committee with Maria. And literally every candidate that came through the room, she made a point to tell them how great a place this was to work. That is how much Solano is Maria. So with that statement, I'm going to kick it over to our dean, interim dean of math and science, who has some statement to share, and then everybody can line up and go in whatever order they want. So.
Hello.
Awesome. Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm here to talk about Professor Maria Santiago. She's worked here at Solano Community College as chemistry instructor full-time since August 14, 1991. She's demonstrated leadership, professionalism, and excellence at Solano Community College. She's served as department chair, faculty advisor for MESA, SAC-NAS, SHPE, and Puente programs, to name a few. She's been awarded over 5 Faculty of the Year awards, and she's a distinguished faculty member. She's created, obviously, numerous courses, but recently Chemistry 0110 hybrid course. Her prior students have become faculty at Solano Community College and are currently her peers. She currently serves as chair of chemistry, but that's not all, horticulture, water, wastewater, geology, and geography. Her reviews attribute strong success. Thank you for being one of the best professors I've ever had. You are not only a great teacher, but a great person as well. Another student relayed, she is awesome, does a great job, and is an inspiration. Then my favorite, best science teacher I have had at the college level. She's known for strong mentorship of students. From her peers, Maria demonstrated that she's a master teacher. She executed an obviously well-prepared plan, and the students all know what to expect. She uses document cameras to facilitate discussions and various instructional methods to teach her class. From another peer, in addition to being an inspirational teacher, you are also a great colleague. She will be sincerely missed, and we are glad to have her service both as chair and on faculty and chemistry lab technician hiring committees this final semester. This retirement is well-deserved and an aspirational achievement.
Maria Santiago is retiring. This is truly the end of an era. She was chosen by the Academic Senate as distinguished faculty in 2009, but that's only because we didn't nominate her every year, or else she would have won every year. We thought it would be nice for someone else to win. She remains my perfect teacher. She is the model of a teacher. She has this degree of rigor. She is known as one of the toughest teachers on the campus. And here's my Maria impression. Hi, how's it going? How's your family? Good to see you. Here's the toughest exam that you're ever going to get in your entire life. But what that did is it prepared those students. She told them, if I pitched you softballs, then I wouldn't be doing you a favor, because when they go to UC Davis, they always excelled there because she prepared them. And she has that reputation on the Davis campus. A few years ago, we had a faculty member at UC Davis saying, community college students, I don't think they're well prepared. I'm going to interview all of them. And a lot of our students said, wait, I didn't get an interview. And they went in, oh, you're from Solano College. Oh, you'll be fine. No, we don't worry about you. You have that teacher there. I don't remember her name, but she is really tough. And so that is the reputation that we have because of this rigor. Now, what the students would do is they would say, oh, Maria, I love her. I really hate those tests in the class. And I was wondering, wait, how did you do that? You know she's making the tests. But they would defer that that angst over the class and apply it to the test and not to her. She taught organic chemistry. In organic chemistry, every single student is transferring. And again, if you pitch them softballs, they won't be prepared for the next level. She also taught pre-allied health chemistry. Any student of hers that you go in and they're a nurse of yours or a respiratory therapist, you can rest assured that if they took her, they're doing their dosage calculations correctly, and that you're going to get very good health care. She served the college in multiple capacities, as Jessica said. She's been on every single committee, always hiring committees. And I'll confess this, she has this tremendous emotional quotient. She knows everything about somebody. So I would sit next to her in committees, and what I learned to do is kind of to watch her and take her lead. And for any vote, she'd go, and I'd go, oh. And then when the vote went, oh, not me either. In the department, all you had to say was, Maria is against this, and that idea completely dies. Oh, okay, I'm not pursuing it. There is no way I'm going to do that. I'm sure Solano College will be in good hands in the future because she's on the committees, and she will make sure that her replacements are top notch. And by the way, between her and John Agashi, that isn't two people. Those are three full-time faculty members. They've been teaching that much overload over the years. But I want to say, again, not only is she my model teacher, not only she's the best teacher I ever met, but she might be one of the best human beings I've ever met as well. She mentored an entire generation of students, and I'm speaking on behalf of a whole generation of students. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good.
Get in front of this line here. It's like 30 people up there. All right. Thank you for this, but I really want to just say thank you to Maria for making the first 3-4 years of my career like very like I can't even like I don't know what the word is, overwhelming, like, or just great. Like I have someone to emulate the rest of my career, and it's just awesome seeing that someone that can work so hard, care so much about students, care so much about the college. It's just something for me to strive to. Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff to say, but I just blanked out. But I've had probably, I want to say more jobs. I definitely have had more jobs than anybody else in this room. Different types of jobs, all sorts of jobs. hands down, easy, no contest, right? But by far, out of the hundreds and hundreds of coworkers I've had, Maria is definitely my favorite coworker and my favorite drinking buddy. So, thank you, Maria, and I'm hoping we can still hang out all the time.
Thank you.
Hi, Lene again. I'm glad Colin said that she was his favorite drinking buddy because I was going to say it if he. Maria is also a very dear friend of mine, and as you know, she's a fantastic teacher, and she's a fantastic colleague to her people in math and science. But you need to know also that she is a fantastic colleague to this campus. When I think of her and Nick, and I say this in the most respectful way, we are losing two of our elders in this community, and we're feeling it. We're back here feeling it, right? Just it's great for them, but they brought a lot to this community. And Maria, you are a connector of faculty and of people. The students love her. I know nurses I meet nurses in the world, right? And they're like, oh, is Maria Santiago still there? And I'm like, yeah, she's still there. And Peter would say he wants to come to your retirement party, that he would never have become a nurse without Maria. He just would never have made it. She inspired him. But she inspires me. Psychology was in math and science for a year or two during some juggling or whatever of departments. And I think even maybe before that, because I was connected with Bob, but I have a nice connection with the women of science, right? And I'm not in their school, and they are my friends, and Maria is a very close friend, and I love her dearly, and Bob too. But I really want to acknowledge the loss of two really important people from our faculty, right? So.
Hello, everyone. I am Kiran Kaur, and I have been at Solano almost 20 years full-time as a chemistry instructor. So I've known Maria almost 20 years now, and I have to say she is a wonderful person with a very big heart, very loving, my neighbor next door, next to my office. In fact, I'll share a little story with you guys this morning. I told my mom that Maria is retiring and will be at the board meeting. And my mom, who's sitting in India, tells me from there, oh my gosh, what are you going to do without Maria? So that's exactly what it is. I don't know what I'm going to do without her. She is a glue that holds our chemistry department together. She is wonderful, a great mentor, a great teacher. We love her dearly, and I know, yes, we will find a replacement, but no one can be Maria. We love her for what she is, and she's a wonderful person. And I'm so blessed to have worked with her. And in fact, when I got hired 20 years ago, there was a rule, which I still follow. When I got hired, it was like, before you do anything at Solano, check with Maria first. So we still check with Maria, and now I think I'll have to call her to check with her. But we are really fortunate to have Maria at Solano, and she's been on every committee I've known, I've heard. She's wonderful, and you definitely cannot take out Solano from her. So thank you, Maria, for everything, and love you, and we'll miss you, but yes, do keep in touch, which I know she will. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Hi, my name is Danielle Wiedemann. I teach geology and geography here. Hello, soy little bonita. Wow, how do you start? With Maria and John? Sure, it might be 3 full-time positions we're replacing, but it's more like about 10 when you look at all the committees, the mesa, everything that you guys have done. And Maria has been not only my colleague, but she's been my support system. When they say we're hiring for geology or geography, even part-time, there's nobody else to be on my committee. Whatever dean at the time is, Maria always steps up for me. and I'm always so grateful for her. On a different note, she has reminded me over and over that she was on my hiring committee, which I don't remember that. This has been over 22 years ago now. And Maria always reminds me of that. And I remember thinking, oh God, I'm so grateful for her. This is the best job ever. I love my job. And so we, at the beginning of like, what was it, like 21 years ago, we had this campus-wide competition. Like, remember that? It was like swimming, running, I don't know, tennis. And I was like, oh God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And so I get on my bike. You know, I am not a professional bike rider at all. But I make a lap and I look and I'm like, oh, Maria Santiago's watching me. Oh my God, I'm fixing to go right as hard as I can. And I'm lapping the gym people even. And I'm like, taking first, then I'm doing faster and faster. And I'm like, oh, thank God I did it all for Maria. So, and we won, yes. But yeah, I was so proud. I'm so proud. Maria for me has not only been a mentor and a supporter, and I aspire so much to be even partway like Maria. And she not only is my dear, dear friend that's been there for everything throughout, even my son and everything, but she's also my hero. So I'm so grateful to have her as a colleague and a friend, and I'm grateful for all of you celebrating her tonight. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Thank you for having me here. A lot of you are talking about the time Maria's been here, so I want to think back on that. It was a different time. Sugar magnolias, flowers in your hair, that kind of time. The college even then had its silos. The campus geography separated the disciplines. You would meet no one you didn't know outside of your discipline, if not for that old technology that brought us together. I am talking about the copy machine. I met the effervescent and charming Maria Santiago there. She connected the dots, joined with others to form a whole, taking the disparate and creating a collage, an environment, a college of spirit. I ran into one of our colleagues today, Jim DeClos, and he said to me, "Can you imagine us without Maria?" Maria has been a natural resource for our school and all its people, staff, students, faculty, administrators. She is the ultimate people person. That makes her an ultimate teacher. She has maintained standards despite the financial and political tides our institution has struggled through. She has done this easily because she believes the truth about who we are, trust in our better natures, has forever and in a day worked to understand her students' lives, providing for them direction and kindness, qualities sometimes lacking in their lives. She, in short, cares, gives of herself tirelessly, and has been and will continue to be my friend. To answer the question, no, Jim, I cannot imagine us without the spirit of the remarkable Maria Santiago. Thank you.
Very beautiful flowers.
You too? Already.
I don't want to see my life if I don't say anything. No, I'll follow my dear husband there. I'm Ruth Fuller. I'm a librarian. The first time I saw Maria, it was at a curriculum committee meeting. It was my first semester at Solano College, and I'd been told that I needed to attend as the library's curriculum representative. And I remember, so we were in the old boardroom, the old icky boardroom, and I was in the back kind of hiding, and we used to get these massive stacks of curriculum papers and I'm trying to figure out what's going on and what I'm doing. And I just hear this beautiful Cuban accent politely telling someone off. And I notice her hands, and they're covered in gold and bracelets. And I remember that I cannot, this is so true. My first thought was, she's so pretty. She's so pretty. Our relationship is actually not built on our careers or the overlap of our disciplines. She's in the chemistry lab. I spend my days in the library. But my 25-year friendship with Maria is one of the most important, sorry, Jack. It's one of the most important parts of my time here at Solano College. 25 years after that curriculum committee, she's my family. We have created thousands of memories, which sad for you all, I won't share too many of, but our walks together through neighborhoods, our visits to churches, hospitals, a special night at the county clerk's office on New Year's Eve, many trips together with Jack and Bob, more bars than we should count. Our friendship represents one of the things I love most about being a faculty member, the lifelong relationships that we build together, the gift of these long careers where we're in the same place and our friendships can grow and grow and our colleagues become our family. And for me, this friendship is your legacy at Solano College.
Oh my God. We need to go to the bar, you know? I'm ready. I'll be quick. It's quick.
Wonderful.
I don't know if you know this, Maria, but you've been a hero of mine since I first joined the elite faculty of Solano College. I don't know if you'll remember that briefly I served with you on the exec board of the union when I first got hired. And that was decades ago.
Right.
And I remember being impressed by your confidence and sass. And I was and continue to be awed by the fact that you teach chemistry, a course that sent me running to the humanities when I was in high school. Never looked back. Just last year, we served on the bargaining team together, and your boldness and sass, again, still made the experience fun and productive for all of us. And all the years in between have been made so much more interesting and inspiring and a little hysterical due to your sparkle, your care for your students, your expertise, your willingness to say aloud what we all think, but don't always say. I, like many of us in this room, am fortunate in that I will continue to spend time with you because our love of a good party will bring us together from time to time in years to come. But I will miss you in my days at Solano, where I mostly live, more than words can express.
Okay. Nope.
I'll warn you, there may be tears. I'm John Higashi. I met Maria in 1990. Okay. Back then, we were the chemistry department.
That's right.
Okay. One of the most important things I've experienced in my 40 plus years of teaching is that I taught for 6 years before I ever met Maria. And that's important because if I had met Maria when I started teaching, I would have thought, well, that's it. That's the gold standard. That's what I strive for. It says, if I want to be a great teacher, I have to be like Maria. You know, if I want to be a great teacher, I've got to become Maria. But I had taught long enough to know that I'm not Maria. And I would never become Maria. There is only one Maria Santiago. Okay. Now, to those of you in the chemistry department, okay, I'll call you the survivors. Okay. You must now live in a world without Maria. Okay. And I know you have to try and somehow fill that gaping black hole that's now there. And I don't envy you. Okay. To Maria, it says, we have been colleagues for 36 years. Colleagues, but not equals. I am boron on the periodic table. Kind of interesting, unique, a little bit quirky. But you, Maria, you are carbon. Okay. You are carbon. Okay. There is no life in a world without carbon. Okay. When you announced your retirement, I knew it was my time to go. How could I go on without you? Just thank you for your leadership and your guidance. Thank you for taking care of me.
That's right. I've taken care of you for 36 years. I sure have. That's true. Who knows?
And you've been through highs and lows.
I have.
Joy.
More highs, more lows, yeah, than you.
There was
He's
joy.
been even. I have not.
There was
He's
sad.
got one wife.
There was
I've had several. Go on. Not wives, but not wives, but never wives, never wives.
But I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Joy. I think I'm not going to let anybody else talk because I think that's enough. So yes, I am Maria. Oh, no more. Enough. Anyway, I do want to thank you, and thank the board. Oh, yeah, no more. Come on, I'm not dying. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much, but oh my God. Anyway, I wanted to say thank you to the board. Thank you for, the superintendent president. And thank you for the many other boards and presidents before you all. Because once upon a time, John, I think you should come up because you and I are like together for forever. Once upon a time, the superintendent president was Dr. Virginia Holton. And Dr. Virginia Holton is the one that hired John, and then John was in the committee. John,
Virginia Holton.
Wait, there's more to be gone. And John was in the committee that hired me. So I am actually grateful to John that hired me also because he was in that committee that I ended up being hired in. I want to also say that I am happy that I am leaving. Well, I'm not happy to be leaving, believe me. I'm actually very sad to be leaving Solano College because you guys Solano College has been my life, actually. For the since 1985 that I came to Solano College, that has been my life. But Virginia Holton, who was a chemist, was also the president that allowed MESA to come to Solano. So we went all around Vacaville, all around Fairfield, gathering funds to bring MESA to Solano. And I'm very, very happy to see that MESA is back again in full force, that COM is leading the charge to make sure that we continue providing, science for when you look around Solano County, when you look all around us, nurses, dentists, doctors, there was COVID, remember that? And the pharmacy close to us, the pharmacist was one of our students that called my home and said, Professor, you don't have to worry. I have the vaccine for you. Just come on over. That's what we have. So the last thing something that I wanted to say and I'm forgetting what I'm saying, but I think, what else would I have to say? Possibly nothing. Possibly that I have had an amazing time at Solano College. Solano College, like they said, has been my life for these many years. Maurice, Trustee Young, Calvin Schwall, get up, please. Calvin Schwall, Jim McClough, John Higashi, and I, we were all the ones that wanted Mesa to come here. They were all the supporters for Mesa. We have had so many. So I'm glad that we're all still here and alive, by the way. By the way, some of us are gone. So thank you very much. I will take all this crowd out of here so that you all can continue with your jobs. And thank you. And
Thank you. Thank you.
wow. Thank you very much. Sure, Jim, come here. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. So we're following. Come on. We're coming to the board. Come over. We're following John Nogues.
Yeah, please.
We gotta stand up, right? Stand up.
Yeah.
Aw.
Everybody.
Everyone back here, gonna take a picture. We go down and stand. Yes. Let's bring it in. Stand on the chair, Vice President. Oh, wow.
They've
What's
already
going
been
on? Oh.
I'm good.
Thank you. Wonderful. Oh, how lovely. All right. Well, thank you so much. We enjoyed all the public comments.
I know how to do it. Yeah, it's just, I think it's hers, so I don't want to. This is your phone? So he took me, he's been yeah. I'm gonna be your neighbor soon. I guess you're moving in the neighborhood.
Wait, we haven't voted on it yet, so.
I know. We actually haven't voted on it yet. Wonderful. All right. What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we gotta make a motion to approve.
Yeah, do you want a motion? No.
What?
Right.
Sorry about that. So we'd like to make who would like to make the motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve item 13D, and I'm just chuckling a little bit that John, Jim, and Maria are not coming forward on the same board meeting so that they can have 3 separate nights to party, I think. I think that's the strategy here.
That's a very smart one. Thank you. It was moved and seconded, and congratulations, everybody. Thank you for your service. Thank you. All right. Academic Affairs, VP. We didn't vote. I didn't vote. That's right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Nope, the motion passed. Thank you. All right, moving on to academic affairs. VP Williams will present these items.
Thank you, President Cargo, Reid, members of the board. We're presenting to you tonight a pediatric clinical rotation. At the beginning of the night, all these people were still children. They're now adults now. But this is, we really appreciate our pediatric clinical rotations. This is with River Delta Unified School District. We're asking for your approval.
A motion to approve item 13E.
All right, it was moved and seconded. Any discussion? All right. Oh, Trustee Karima?
No, you're absolutely correct. We have a number of pediatric rotations, and we're continually looking for school districts and people to help train our nurses. We really do appreciate this.
Thank you. All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? The motion passed. Student Services, VP Neely will present these items.
Good evening. Thank you very much. This is our annual ask of the board to approve resolution number 2526-11, proclaiming February 2026 as Black History Month.
We're going to do a motion, but may I ask you to read the resolution for me, please?
Yes, it would be my pleasure and honor. Whereas Black History Month is celebrated every February as tribute to the achievements of African Americans who have shaped American history from 1619 to the election of the first Black president and vice president of the United States of America in 2008 and 2020 respectively and beyond. Whereas Dr. Carter G. Woodson initiated the observance of Negro History Week in February 1926 to honor the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, both pivotal figures in the advancement of Black enfranchisement, and this is the 100th year, I should note. Whereas through dedicated efforts of prominent civil rights activists, the transition to dedicating an entire month to the celebration was advocated and realized in 1976. Whereas this year's National Black History Month theme, A Century of Black History Commemorations, honors the profound contributions and enduring legacy of Black Americans and recognizes the foundational role of Black creativity and innovation in shaping American culture and global expression, rooted in a history of resilience through enslavement, the cultural flowering of the Great Migration and Harlem Renaissance, the creative resistance of the civil rights and Black arts movements, and the continued leadership of Black artists, scholars, educators, scientists, entrepreneurs, and cultural workers whose excellence expands the nation's identity and possibilities. Whereas we honor African American labor throughout our nation's history, from the brutal system of chattel slavery and the transformative Great Migration, to the powerful organizing of leaders such as A. Philip Randolph of the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters and Dorothy Lee Bolden of the National Domestic Workers Union of America. And we uplift the often overlooked contributions of Black women, from domestic workers to educators to labor organizers, whose essential work and leadership continue to shape every sector of American society and advance workplace rights and dignity for all. Whereas African Americans have continually enriched and contributed to our society through their long-standing commitment to resilience, to justice, equality, civil rights, and economic and social equality for all. Whereas American culture has benefited from the vital contributions of Black immigrants from Africa, the Caribbean, Latin America, and other regions whose cultures, traditions, languages, and perspectives enrich American society and affirms the importance of recognizing the diversity within the Black experience, including the histories and identities of Black immigrants and members of the global African diaspora. Whereas Black history is a part of American history and our complex shared history is italicized by the contribution of African Americans for over 400 years. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Solano Community College District Governing Board does hereby adopt this resolution to recognize February 2026 as Black History Month. Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you reading the resolution. You're wonderful at it.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Do we have a motion?
Yes, I would like to move that we approve Black History Month resolution number 25/26-11.
All right, it was moved by trustee Ann and seconded by trustee Rosemary to approve the resolution for Black History Month. Roll call, please. Oh, is there any discussion? Sorry. Yes, trustee Kareem.
So I've started using the charger. Which means I have to, the electric chargers, which means I have to come through the campus a lot more often than I used to. And as I walked by, I saw a billboard about William Marion Cook. And there's a little, what is that little square thing that you take a
QR code.
QR code. And so I came in and I said, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And our superintendent president said she loves looking at people take information about QR code and finding out the history behind the person.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, since we have another meeting coming up in 2 weeks, maybe we could go through all of these and share it with the board. Because sometimes you can't go through the campus and see this. Please. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And also just to say that was a brainchild of some of our students in our Student Development and Life Office through our Student Equity Office. And I love the idea of kind of the living history, but also the ability to find out more. So students have already got plans for the rest of the year. So it's a great kind of walking art exhibit and also history as well. So appreciate the recognition.
Us on the boards, because sometimes we can't walk through the campus.
Of course, of course. Of course.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna do a roll call, please.
Trustee Kara.
Aye.
Trustee Young.
Aye.
Trustee Boyce.
Aye.
President Cargo Reed.
Aye.
Trustee Thurston. Trustee Wynn Greer.
Aye.
Trustee Honeychurch. Student Trustee Rodriguez.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. The resolution was passed. We're going to move on to 14A, information items. Early Learning Center overview. Director Sabrina Drake will be presenting.
Yes, hi. I'm just going to introduce our stellar director of the Early Learning Center and ask her to come up to present this study session and talk a little bit about the organization, the structure, and also the achievements of this pretty amazing key component of our educational delivery and the architecture really of what makes the college what it is. So Sabrina, please come on up.
Hello.
Of course.
Somebody do that earlier. Okay. Good evening, Superintendent, President Butler, President Cargo Reed, and members of the board. My name is Sabrina Drake, and I'm the director of the Early Learning Center, and I'm here tonight to share some information about our program. I seem to be losing my voice this evening, so I'll do the best I can, and I'm not sure if I can keep up with all the great speeches that happened tonight, but I'll do my best.
Doing great.
Thank you. So our philosophy, part of the Early Learning Center, is that the years prior to kindergarten are critical to the development of language, thinking, interpersonal skills, and overall competence of children. Children thrive in a child-centered program that respects and celebrates their family's cultural diversity. Our care is grounded in child development research and designed to meet each child's individual needs, fostering trust, confidence, autonomy, competence, healthy development, and intellectual growth. So a little bit of an overview about our program. We have four main funding streams. One is through the California Department of Education for our California State Preschool Program, where we serve 72 full-time preschoolers. We also have a contract through California Department of Social Services, where we can serve 36 infants and toddlers. We also partner with Child Start, Inc., which covers Napa, Solano counties, and we are able to offer duly enrolled placements for 24 children who are some of our most vulnerable children so that they are able to receive extra support services and social services to help them to succeed, including their families, not just the children. Children succeed when their families succeed, so helping the whole family is part of our goal. We also participate in the Child and Adult Care Food Program. We receive reimbursements to provide a breakfast, a lunch, and an afternoon snack to children. And we have a child food program assistant who cooks a homemade scratch lunch for the children daily. She purchases our groceries for us, she distributes them to the classroom, and we pay for her wages out of this funding as well as purchasing materials and groceries as well. So part of our program includes that we maintain certain ratios and licensing requirements. For example, through our preschool program through California Department of Education, they require that we maintain a 1-to-8 ratio in our classrooms for preschoolers. So 1 adult to every 8 children, maximum of 24 children in each classroom. For our infant toddler program, for children under 18 months, we need to maintain a 1-to-3 ratio, as I'm sure you can imagine, when we've got tiny little babies or we have toddlers. Sometimes they are having some big emotions and they need somebody to sit with them. So that's going to be a one-on-one moment with them. They also have diaper changing, we have meals to prep, we have cots to clean, laundry to do, we have food to prep, and we need more folks in the classroom to be able to manage those things. In addition, there is a different category when children then turn 19 months up to 35 months, then it's a 4-to-1 ratio. So you can hear we've got a lot of children and we need a lot of staff to be able to support them throughout the day. Our staffing model meets or exceeds the license requirements, which also allows our specialists, which is the classification of our lead teachers, to be able to really provide our student staff and practicum students some hands-on guidance. So we have 6 classrooms and we have 6 specialists. We call them lead teachers. That's the CSEA classification, but we call them lead teachers. And they hold a site supervisor permit through the Commission on Teacher Credentialing. They have met the education requirement and the experience requirement to earn that permit. They also have to renew it every 5 years. And to do so, they have to provide 105 hours of professional development to be able to renew that permit. So we are always sharing information about trainings, up-to-date research, encouraging them to go to school so that they can maintain those hours. We also have 4 ELC assistants. 3 of them work in our preschool programs and they work 4 hours a day. We also have 1 toddler assistant who works in our toddler program and works 6 hours a day. These 4 individuals hold a teacher permit, also through the Commission on Teacher Credentialing. Again, same thing, they've got to renew it every 5 years and they've got to do the 105 hours of professional development. In addition to that, the teacher level permit is the lowest level permit that the state of California deems to be a teacher that can lead a classroom. So those are our minimums. The site supervisor permit is required for our full-time specialists because they work with practicum students and they manage all the staffing in the classroom. So they need to have hold a higher permit level so that they can really have that experience. Some of the differentiations are some of the coursework that they have to take, which includes adult supervision, mentoring, and courses such as that. So our support staffing. We have students who work in our classrooms and we have different criteria for who works in our classroom. We have student aides who work in our classroom. They may not have any units in early childhood education, but they can work in our classroom to set up activities, they can sweep, they can clean the cots, they can serve a meal with the children, but they are not able to be left alone with children. But we need those folks to be able to do those tasks. We also have interns, which are student workers that have achieved a permit through the commission, as well as lab assistants who actually hold that teacher level permit. We cannot leave children without somebody who has a permit. So the person who has the permit has to be visually supervising the folks that do not have the units and do not have the permits in the classroom. But we need those folks because we just can't hire enough folks that hold permits. We wish we could, but that's part of our student workforce pipeline, right? Where they're coming through our program, we train them up, we help them get a permit, and then they go out and they get jobs. And people love to contact us to say, we need teachers. Who do you have? Can you please recommend? And we're happy to share that information with the Career Center. And we put a flyer out, but typically they're talking to the folks that are already employed in our program, and they tend to like to stay, which is great for the children. We also have federal work study students who are in our classroom, and they help us with our language and literacy activities, as well as our National Raising a Reader program. We do have short-term temporary who works in our classroom as well. Oftentimes, those are folks that have gone through our program. They have earned their permit, they've gone off to get their bachelor's degree, and they are still working in our program. We value them in our program because they help us with our permit compliance, and also because it provides continuity of care for the children. We also have CDFS 65 practicum students in our classrooms. We work closely with Tony Ayala, who is the CDFS faculty who oversees that class. He is in our building every day while his practicum students are in there, and our lead teachers are in there coaching and mentoring those folks as well. Cal Poly San Luis Obispo's motto is learn by doing. That's also our motto, learn by doing. Everybody gets to learn by doing. So when you are taking all your CDFS coursework, you are getting all the theory, practicums where you put it in place. And we're going to help support you and guide you while you're doing that course. And we're also training our student workers so that they can do that work as well. And I think our student trustee, Veronica Rodriguez, might be able to share some of that information as well.
Yeah, so I work at the Early Learning Center, just something really briefly, and I love working close with Sabrina, and this was my first job ever, and I don't want to leave it. I know I'm going to be leaving it so soon, but they really provide a safe space to grow and learn, and I really appreciate all the work that you do, Sabrina.
Oh,
Thank you.
We didn't set that up ahead of time. Totally unprompted. So our program compliance and quality. So we have a lot of rules. Anytime you accept a contract from a governmental agency, there is a lot of rules attached to that, right? And because we have 4 different funding streams, we have 4 different sets of rules. And of course, we have to go with the most stringent of all those rules. So we need to make sure that we are meeting all of the criteria that they require of us. First of all, our teachers do a desired result developmental profile. It's a DRDP. So they observe the children and then they assess where they are in all of their skills and abilities, which are in areas like self-regulation, social emotional, language literacy, math and science. And then our staff actually meet weekly in each classroom, and they work on the interests of the children and where their skills and abilities are at, and activities that they plan to help them grow and to scaffold their learning. So it's very intentional. We are required to not only provide curriculum for the children, but to do the DRDPs. We then do individualized learning plans for each of the children. So each person in the classroom, regardless of what teaching level they are, know what the goals are for that child so that they can help that child to achieve those goals. And then twice a year, we are required to do parent-teacher conferences with those families so we can share those children's successes, their goals, strategies that we're working on, and also parent education. So we use a web-based platform called Parent Square, and we use that to push out information just to our enrolled families, specifically to the classroom that they're in. So the teachers will share photos of what their children did for the day, what the curriculum study is, what they learned. And Jyoti and I, Jyoti, our assistant director, we will also share resources for families, social supports, sometimes events on campus that are pertinent to families. And also we have employed through our Child Start partnership We have somebody who has been providing us with Triple P, which is Positive Parenting Program. So they come in and they do a series of 3 to help families with some parenting techniques to help work with their children. So we do a lot of individual work with all of our families, our teachers, supervising the children to ensure that they are safe and healthy while they are in our classrooms. Joe T's primary function, in addition to helping coach and mentor our lead teachers and our assistants, is to enroll children into our program. And because we are funded through the state of California, there's lots of paperwork and lots of requirements. And we do get audited every 3 years. So we have a compliance monitoring review. And they come in and they look at all of our files to ensure that it sounded very similar to what the auditor was talking about, the financial report that they provided tonight. So they go through our files. We also do a environmental rating scale on all of our classrooms. They also look at that information to make sure that we are providing a safe, enriching, child-focused program for the children. So we are, again, funded through the state of California. They expect us to be pretty good. So they require that we are at least at a score of 5 out of 7. And if we are not, then we have to put in an action plan to increase those numbers. And I'm super happy to say that we are exceeding those numbers, which is really fabulous. We also do a class, which is a classroom assessment for our preschool classrooms. And they come in and they look at the environment, the general atmosphere, how the teachers are talking to the children, how they are expanding their vocabulary. So when you're talking to kids and you might want to say, oh, what do you think's for lunch today? And they say, oh, macaroni and cheese. All right, well, what's your favorite macaroni and cheese? My favorite cheese is gorgonzola. Like we're gonna talk about the cheese. We're gonna use big words. We're gonna introduce new language to really help them to expand their vocabularies. Let's see. So we're a pretty unique program over there at the Early Learning Center. You don't really probably hear much about us over there because we like to just take care of our little corner of the universe over there. But you might see us out on walks. We take the children out so that they can experience the campus and be able to go to the art building, to the library building. Everybody on campus is very generous to host us in their buildings, and we really appreciate that. I did want to take away a couple things. I wanted to share tonight some of our highlights. A couple are that we have been in training videos for the Program for Infant Toddler Caregivers, which is an organization that provides training nationwide. And we've been in some of their training videos, and that is quite prestigious, and we are very proud of that. We also, a couple years ago, hosted some transitional kindergarten administrators who wanted to come into our preschools to see what our preschools look like, because they wanted their TK classrooms to look more like our preschools because they are run like a classroom. And I could also tell you that UC Davis Lab School is coming to visit us at the end of the month because they regard the work that we do over in the Early Learning Center and they would like to come and observe. But instead of telling you all that, I'd just like to share part of an email that I got this evening. So we had a contract monitoring review for our infant toddler program back in September of 2025, which went very well. And she sent a follow-up email tonight. I'll just read a little excerpt from this. Their program self-evaluation training team is working diligently to develop this year's presentation to the field. The field meaning the state of California and all of childcare. Part of this work includes recruiting exemplary programs to share promising practices during the presentation. I would like to nominate your program to share about high-quality environments, including the use of environment rating scales to guide setup and modification. This may include photos, of classroom environments, creation of PowerPoint slides, and presentation of information during the program. So she was here in September, and our review went really well. Also because I like to think that if we just all do what we're supposed to be doing, then our review should normally go pretty well. But also is holding us up as a shining star in the field of early childhood education. So I really, we have amazing staff. They're well-trained. They're dedicated to their work. Even for being some of the lowest paid employees on campus, unfortunately. But they're very dedicated to their work, and I'm so very proud of the work that we do over here, which has been decades in the making. It takes a lot. We didn't just, pop over there and we're this good. It's taken a lot of work, but we're very proud of what we've done.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You have a comment?
Sure. First, thank you, and we'll all say thank you on the board here. I think it's incredibly helpful. I know we oversee, we get funding sources through, and it's really helpful to see it all together. So that was I can think that the onus of why we kind of initiated why let's talk about these all together so we can understand it better. So thank you. And I just wanted to also say early childhood education on a community college campus is such a special place that not only are the children that we're serving growing, but it grows student workers and students and learners. And I took a human development class here and did one of those observations of the environment and classes and things when I was a student, and I remembered it when I became a teacher. It continued on. So I appreciate the place that exists and how special that is. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I would also like to share that part of our work also, we like to think that we are changing families' trajectory, right? They're able to drop off their children in a safe place. They're able to go to school. They're able to work, which changes their financial outcome. And also, I did forget to mention, I heard you talking about student nurses also, that we do have student nurses from Solano College that are doing their pediatric rotation in our program as well. Yeah, we're happy to have them in there.
Trustee?
Thank you.
Yes.
This is really nice to know.
Lovely.
We all went and saw your campus, and it's just a beautiful.
Thank you.
Program. It really is.
Thank you.
Well deserved. A couple of things. 4 funding streams.
Yes.
Do we charge the parents?
Well, probably 95% of our families qualify for the subsidy, which is where all the rigorous paperwork comes in. And I would have to say we probably have 8 parents out of those 108 children that pay a sliding scale fee. And luckily, the state of California has finally gotten with the program, and they have really reduced that. So it can be no more than, I believe, 1% of a family's income. So, for example, one of our families who's on the sliding scale, at the most, pays $60 a month. Yeah.
Nice to know. Presumably, 100 students, right? But it's obviously not as, you probably have a long waiting list, right?
We do have a waiting list.
Okay, so then what is the criteria do you use to get these kids into the program?
Oh, sure, yes. Well, we do have a formula that we use to be able to qualify families given to us by our funding streams, and its lowest income gets in first. So we take a family's income, we take how many family members are in the family size, get the per capita, and put them in order. Lowest income gets in first. Of course, we have folks, if they're a CPS referral, they take priority, or if we have children that have been identified as having special needs on an IEP or an IFSP, then they may also get priority.
How long is our waiting list?
Jyoti manages the waiting list, but if I had to guess, we probably, program-wide, all the ages, probably have about 50 people on the list.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My next question is, what are the chances of Vacaville and Vallejo ever having a program like this? I mean, presumably the need is there. And since
Right.
you do such a wonderful job here in Fairfield.
Well, I think that's the will of the board. And
So it is possible.
It would be, I'm not sure who would be the person to facilitate that, and it would take a lot of funding to be able to do that. Yeah.
Last question is cultural diversity.
Yes.
Our staff are, actually it's not the last, because you mentioned you're the lowest paid on campus, which is pretty typical in America. We, the education and childhood rearing is not respected in some ways, but does that mean that you haven't approached our superintendent president, maybe? I know, I'm sorry. But I find that sad to know that you guys are the lowest paid on campus.
Well,
it's something that maybe we should do something about.
it is typical in the field,
I know.
unfortunately. So we do have a lot of folks that may work in our program as students, and then they leave to go to the K-12 system because it is a higher paid position than working with 0 to 5. So our folks here at the Early Learning Center that are in regular CSEA positions are competitively paid for the field. But the field overall, yes, is very underpaid.
But we try to be better.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do try to be better. We also try to have a really good working environment there. Yes.
Thank you, Vice President. Did you have a comment,
Yes.
question?
Yes. First and foremost, I would love to see this program over in the Vacaville campus as well, but I know that's going to be a heavy lift, and that's something future discussions or conversations there. But I would like to thank you for your comprehensive report. That was amazing that you didn't have any notes there at all, but you shared with us everything that we were given here. And truly the phrase, it takes a village to raise a child. Is what you have here, and I'm truly impressed, so thank you so much for that. I do have one question, is you mentioned during your report that you can't hire enough people due to the permits. What can we do as a board to support you, or do more, or do better? I remember you saying that part, and so I wrote it down.
Yeah, so we do work with our students who are working with us that are CDFS majors, and we do have access to a program, the Child Development Training Consortium, that will pay for part of the permit for those folks to get that permit. So we encourage them. I will meet with them in my office to help them do the paperwork, because again, it's applying for the equivalent of a credential. So the paperwork is a little laborious. They do have to get live scanned, and they have to pay for that out of their pocket. So we were discussing that just today, saying if we could figure out some way to access the live scanning here on campus, and there is a partial reimbursement through the Child Development Training Consortium that we would happily give to campus DSP for them for doing that service, then that would be quite beneficial.
May I ask just one follow-up question?
Sure, of
What is the out-of-pocket cost for the live scan?
$85.
85.
That's
Thank
not
you.
that bad.
Thank you.
It used to be 250. So.
Oh, for a live scan? Wow.
Mhm.
It used to be 20 when
Oh, yeah.
I did it, so
No, it's through the
85 is
state. But,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Is there any other comments? I have a comment that when I heard you about the language from 0 to 5, that's absolutely important to over exaggerate your environment. I have 2 children that had speech delays. So when you told me that you were substituting, larger words to have them familiar with a larger vocabulary, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And it is, they're little sponges. Even
They
if
are.
they can't communicate back,
Yeah.
they are hearing it, they're taking it in, and I hope to be able to maybe go on a tour of the Early Learning Center.
Please let us know. We'd be happy to have you. Yeah.
Thank you.
You and
Thank
UC
you.
Davis, you can come and visit.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Especially homemade lunch, wow.
All right,
People might come for
yes,
lunch.
yes.
I'm inviting, no, I'm kidding. Well, thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you,
I
thank you.
really appreciate you.
Have a good night.
You too, thank you. All right, so do we have any announcements? Board? Okay. Trustee-
Go ahead. Okay.
All right.
I just want to announce to the board that our chief of police has been appointed as a gubernatorial appointee, Brian Travis, to the Private Security Disciplinary Review Committee, North. The reason why I know this is because I'm part of the APAPA Government Appointments Committee, and we help Brian Travis receive that appointment. So kudos to Chief Travis for receiving this gubernatorial appointment. Just wanted to give him a shout out on that. And also, I just wanted to say thank you to Superintendent President here for giving me the opportunity to be part of the Effective Trustee Workshop. Once again, it has a lot more meaning this year for me, going twice. Last year was a little bit of a blur, but this year a lot of moving parts started to come together. So just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Trustee Creamer.
Well, we went to the conference, and when we were in the conference, they talked about a book called Other People's Children. And I started reading it, and I thought, this is such a good book that I got copies for all of us.
Thank you.
And all of you guys. Except that you guys and you don't get it today because it's on back order. I'm sorry, life sucks. And Amazon sucks even worse. So I am going to give you a copy. It's a wonderful book, and it really talks about, well, I'll read you what it says. Phenomenal. Reading it feels like a breath of fresh air in an increasingly polluted world. Without works like this, those of us who are struggling to change our schools, as well as our society, would be unable to breathe. Another People's Children provides an important yet typically avoided discussion on how power imbalances in the larger U.S. society reverberates in the classroom. Please try to read it, and you are going to get a test on this. I'm joking. Okay, you got to be able to take it with a grain of salt. So did I.
Well, yes, exactly. Our wonderful trustees. I do want to ask. Thank you so much, Trustee Greenmont.
Okay,
Yeah,
there
thank you.
Okay, so here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And you're gonna get a quiz. Apparently.
It's actually accessible on that cost if you'd rather do that. But thank you.
Thank
Please
you.
read it.
All right.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you. Wow, thank you. I did have one. I would like to say congratulations to Chief Travis on his governorial appointment for security, and also that he's going to be doing a security symposium here at the campus on the 10th, and I have signed up to go. So I hope everyone would like to go. What is it? When does it start again? 10 to 2? 10 to 3?
It starts at 10.
Thank you. I'm going to put the superintendent president on the spot, Dr. Kelly.
No, it starts at 10. Chief Travis is the keynote for the event here on campus.
Okay.
On February 10th.
And there's also another event happening tomorrow.
Yeah, could we just get a little blurb on
Please.
Tomorrow we have a town hall with Wanda Williams. The student government, ASSC, and student development work together with Supervisor Williams's office to arrange the event. There will be tabling, resources, and then also a few presentations. It's really focusing on basic needs and supporting students through just providing wraparound support. And they have worked together with Dr. Ballesteros and student government to put this together. So it should be a really great event. It starts at 1 to 2:30. It'll be in the theater.
Thank you so much for the times and places. All right, having no more items, do I have, oh, sorry, did you have an item? Oh, I thought he raised his hand. All right, having no more items, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
All right, we have moved by Trustee Ann and seconded by Trustee Rosemary to adjourn the meeting. There being no further business to come before the board, the meeting was adjourned at 8:46 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed evening.
Yeah, I'm also gonna get the box. So yes, I have. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.